Hey, good morning. It is the live weekly, what do I call it? Weekly live reselling show. I got to come up with a name for my Wednesday show because my plans are not to be packaging on Wednesday, but just to come and chat with you guys about reselling. And honestly, I never usually stick to reselling. It's usually about life in general because today I really have no topics to talk about. I debated on even going live today because every day I debate it, right? Don't I? You guys hear me say that all the time. But I was trying to figure out what to talk about today. So let's see what the chat brings up for topics, and we'll kind of discuss that. I do know that I wanted to bring up a couple things on eBay that I have seen in Facebook groups, questions and stuff, and I kind of wanted to talk about it just in case somebody is not aware of that these are even available. One of them is the bulk listing tool on eBay. I'm not sure how many new people watch my channel here. I think most of you are seasoned, but it was something that was brought up where somebody had said they raised their prices on eBay and they were surprised by how many items started selling when they raised their prices, not lowered them. And somebody had said, well, how many items do you have? And the person had said 800. And come to find out, they were manually editing all of their prices. And somebody said, why don't you use the bulk listing tool? And they didn't know that it was available to change your price. So I wanted to kind of mention that today, that it's something that you can do if you ever decide that you want to run a promotion. And I mean, some people will call it sketchy, but let's say you wanted to run a 50% off promotion. So you raise your prices by 50%, or maybe you raise them by 50% and you run a 75% off, which is really a 25% off promotion. People do this all the time. You would be surprised. I do know that you cannot legally run a sale all the time in your store. There needs to be a time when there's not something on sale to call it a sale. I know that Hobby Lobby has actually been getting in trouble with that lately because for the longest time, they have everything would always be on sale in their store. Isn't it the same thing with Kohl's? Like, I would never go into Kohl's and pay full price for anything because at some point it's going to be on sale or you're going to be able to earn Kohl's cash. But the same thing is with Hobby Lobby. Now that my mom and I have been doing a lot more crafting and going there a lot more, I notice that every other week something is on sale. So if you want scrapbooking, major YouTube glitches this morning. Oh, really? Good morning, Eric. How am I coming across? I didn't pull it up on my thing. So hopefully it's nothing I will have to deal with today. Normally I have to deal with the internet being an issue. So hopefully YouTube isn't going to be on top of it. But so with Hobby Lobby is one week they would have like all their wooden stuff would be on sale, and then the next week it's not on sale. Then the next week it's back on sale. So since I have to travel 2 hours to go to Hobby Lobby, we used to go like almost like every other week, but we were like, oh, we were always going when the same stuff was on sale. So what we ended up doing was going one week, and then we would wait 3 weeks before going again. That way we would catch different stuff on sale. So hey, good morning, Midlife Picker. Got the notification. Yeah, thanks. I didn't schedule this ahead of time. So I'm talking about how you can bulk edit your stuff on eBay. And one of the things you can do is, let me pull up my eBay here just so I can show you guys. Hopefully it says nobody's watching, but I got a couple of you in the chat. So I don't know if maybe that's what some of the issues are with let me see, share. I just want to show you guys this. All right, so here is my eBay store. And so one of the things you can do, and I actually need to bulk edit my handling time. So if you have a store, you have a thing called the Seller Hub. And in the Seller Hub, you can do a bulk edit. So when you come to your active listings, which maybe I should show you that in case you are new, under listings, and then you can just click on active. I think if you actually just click it listings, it goes right to your active. And then down here, there's this little box where you can check and it will highlight all of these, or you can just click here on edit. And this was something they added, I think last year, and what a lifesaver, because you used to have to go like page by page, or like they would limit how many you could edit at once. I think it was 500 at one time. But you can say edit all, and I got 1,740 listings, which I'm down because I was close to 2,000. Hey, good morning, Flip It Good, and Amy, my sister, how many gallons of syrup did you say you made so far this year? Maybe later. Sorry, I'm sharing all this with you guys. Hope my password didn't show. Hope I had a bunch of dashes. I just realized that I hopefully didn't show that. Otherwise, I probably had to go in there and quickly remove it. Did it show my password? I wasn't paying attention. All right. Just trying to get to this screen, for crying out loud. All right. So when you bulk edit, you can click on this button right here, and that will highlight all of your listings. So for me, 1739, because there was a problem with one of them, so it was taking that away. And then you can edit your fields, and one of the edit is your price. So so for those chiming in late, because I know it took a little bit for my hold on. Eric says, is she live? Not playing here. Issues seem to be getting worse as morning goes on. Oh, I hope you guys can see it. Hope you can see it. All right. So what I was talking about is somebody says that they raised their prices, but they were manually doing it. And I have heard over and over and over again, if you're not getting any sales, of course, any activity in your store always does well for the algorithm on eBay. But sometimes even just raising your prices by 10%. Because if somebody's been sitting on the fence and they see that your price has gone up, I mean, I know I do it with Amazon. If I've got something on Amazon that I'm watching and I look and the Keepa, because a lot of times I'll look at the Keepa history, even as a buyer. And if I see the price has gone up, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I better order something. I better order it now because I don't know if the price is going to keep going up, especially with today's market, right? So you can actually change your price. So you can see this is auction fixed price. So buy it now price. Now, auction price came up because I do have one item on auction right now, which I tested it, and I'll see. But normally, if you don't have anything on auction, it'll only be these. So you can change your buy it now price. You can change the best offer or quantity. So in this case, I'm going to say buy it now price, increase it, and you can increase it by a dollar amount. So you can raise everything by a penny if you wanted to, just again to give it that activity in your store. Or you can say, all right, raise everything by 35%, and then you're going to run a 35% sale, that type of thing. So you can go like that, save and close. Now I'm not going to do it because I don't want to actually raise it and then save and close. Also in bulk edit, which I do need to do, is I need to change my handling time, because I have currently a 3-day handling time and I want to go back down to 2 days. I changed that when I went on a out of town for a few days. I don't know, maybe like a month ago, but I haven't done anything since then. So there's really, I pretty much ship every other day. So, and then submit changes. It'll take a little bit and then it will submit it and we'll be fine. So I'm going to just pop back on the screen here. And you guys like my new shirt? Let me show you it. It says, take the scenic route, enjoy the journey. Isn't that cute? I love it. That's my life. Take the scenic route. Don't get right there. Take the scenic route. All right, so let's see who popped in here. Laura, good morning. How are you? So over 500 gallons. Can't remember the exact number. Wow, that is crazy. What did I say? We've made 5 gallons of syrup so far this year. That's it. It has been extremely slow for us. Syrup is just not, or the sap just isn't flowing. And my husband was talking yesterday about how, when it comes to maple syrup, some people, for those who don't know, a lot of people think syrup is actually made in the fall time because that's when the trees are so beautiful, but it's actually made here right now in the spring. When the trees start to warm up, the sap starts to flow, and that's what you collect to make into syrup. Well, a lot of people, when back in the day, they would put buckets on the tree and then you would go around and empty all the buckets. And that's what we did the last 2 years. Well, this year my husband decided to put taps in the tree that have a pipe on the end of them, a plastic tubing, and the tubes actually go down into a bucket that's on the ground. Well, my sister, who's got so much of a bigger operation than us, she's got the tubing all around, and it all goes down into like one collection point per, I don't know how many trees you usually put on one, but like let's say you have like a whole area of trees, you would have that one collection point for those trees. And then if you have another, I don't know how many acres, then you would have another one in another area, and then you collect all that. Well, her holding tank, she showed a picture of it. It is huge, huge holding tank. And incredible. We've got 30-gallon plastic things that my husband puts ours in. So we have so that's ours. Well, theirs is not only, ours is gravity fed. So as the sap comes down into the tube, gravity will bring it down to go into the bucket. Well, there's ones that have a vacuum suction, so it kind of helps get more and more sap out of the tree. And that's what my sister uses. And then, of course, most large operation have a system like that. But man, it's expensive. So I keep trying to remind my husband it's a hobby. So don't keep increasing. Like right now, we're at like $1,000 for a gallon. I mean, it's ridiculous how much he keeps investing into it. And I'm like, I just want to go back to when we were just boiling it in the garage with buckets on the tree, just enough to make it for ourselves. I'm not really into getting it into a business. So, let's see. So Amy said she could see it fine. If you don't have a vacuum, yeah, it's tough for sure. See, that's the thing. We don't have the vacuum. Good morning, Cindy. How are you today? Oh, guess what today is? Oh, I forgot I was going to wear purple today. So today is my dad's birthday. I was going to wear purple in honor of him today because my dad passed a little over 4 years ago. I'm going to go have lunch. She's spending the day with her sister today. So I'm going to crash their party at lunchtime. Where do we order the maple syrup from? I don't remember. Well, Laura, if you want just maple syrup, then let me know and you can order it from me. I do have it on my eBay, but you can order it directly from me and obviously save me eBay fees. But my sister has like maple candy, maple cream, maple peanuts, maple caramels. Like she's got the whole gamut of maple stuff. And if you want it, you can find her on Etsy at Vermont Maple is her username, or RaymondSugarHouse.com. You can find her there. But if it's just maple syrup, you can order it from me because I've got syrup. I don't know what we're going to be doing with it. So I'm selling my quarts are $20 and the pints are $15. So Amy says she's got 2,100 trees and another sugar bush is 750 trees. Yeah, I think we've got 100 taps. So probably less than 100 trees because I think some of the trees are a little bit bigger and he may have more than one tap on them. A 4,200-gallon tank, our swimming pool. I couldn't believe he was standing in it. I showed it to Tony and he's like, he can literally stand in their holding tank. So a holding tank is once you collect all your sap, and I can't remember, Amy, maybe you can tell me. I think it's like 30, maybe 20. I don't know how many gallons of sap it takes to make a gallon of syrup. I used to know it off the top of my head and I can't remember. But so you collect all your sap and then you got to hang on to your sap until it can get the time to boil. And, if you've got a full-time job, like both of them have, sometimes you have to hold on to your sap for a little bit before you can boil it. It might be a day before you can get it into the boiler. Boy, YouTube is really messed up. Yeah, that's what I've heard. What's going on? I was starting to pull up my chat here, or my show. What's it doing with me? Because all of a sudden I'll have 12 in here and then it goes down to 0. I don't know if is it kicking all of you out? It says that's funny. I go to YouTube and it shows 2 live streams for me right now. Do I have 2 live streams going on? That's awesome. Oh yeah. Dang it, I lost you. YouTube only shows waiting for Yellow Brick Road. Oh. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna make this a really short show today then. Yeah, see right now it says 0 are in here. I I'm thinking that, I don't know, it's on my screen. Still here. Okay, good. So I'm still here for some. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be on for very long today. I just thought I would come in and check in, and I don't know, might only be a half-hour show. I don't really have a lot to talk about, but I know I used to do these Wednesday shows, and lately I haven't been doing them. And it's funny because I call it like what's happening in the world of reselling. But yeah, I do no prep for this show. I don't do anything. And I'm thinking, like, what's going on in the world of reselling? What's the hot topic right now? And I'm like, I don't even know, because honestly, I haven't even been hanging out in the reselling world to even know much lately. Although I would like to know, where is Tommy Bernhard? Because Tommy and Tracy, they haven't done a show. Yesterday, I was getting ready and I thought, man, I haven't seen a show from Tommy in a while. So I went and checked because I thought maybe YouTube had unsubscribed me or just wasn't giving me notifications. And they haven't done a show in like 3 weeks. So, which is kind of odd. So I was listening to their show. I don't think I got through all of their last show. I don't know if they announced that they were going to be away, but I'm just kind of wondering what's going on. Um, hey, good morning. Thanks for the grandkids talk. Found out this morning I'm going to be a grandma. Oh my gosh. Yay! I am so happy for you. You want to see something that's so adorable? Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. I always do this, don't I? Okay, look. Oh my gosh. My One of my really good friends became a grandparent this week. They named her Eleanor. Isn't that such an old name? He is so proud. I'm like, so I went to high school with him, and his friend Sue is a friend of mine too. And I'm like, Sue's never going to get a chance to hold on to him. It's always going to be Todd. But oh, I'm just so jealous. You have no idea how jealous. I'm jealous of you right now, Lisa. But I'm so happy for you. I also found out another friend of mine who her daughter and my daughter were born close to each other. We met each other in birthing class, and she was my first babysitter of my daughter, Kendra. And we became really good friends. We've kind of grown apart in the last, I don't know, like 15 years or so. But her daughter had 2 weeks ago, and she just announced she's pregnant again. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're gonna have two grandkids. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I'm jealous, but yeah. So here we go. Doyle's going to bring us back to reselling UPSP. I think you mean USPS. Yes, there are changes happening starting in April. The biggest of them are the dimensional. If you've got something that is, I don't even know the dimensions. I don't have it pulled up, but all I know is when I sell my wrapping paper at Christmas time, there's going to be something like a $14 surcharge. I don't quote me on that. I just remember hearing it was really big. I know that I have a friend who sells horse saddles, and she was saying that this is really going to affect her. So now she's looking at UPS and FedEx and stuff. But man, I'll tell you, on Monday, if you were here Monday, you saw me on Amazon, and I think even on Pirate Ship. Was it Pirate Ship or was it on eBay? Because it was one even outside of Amazon that Pirate Ship's rates were even better or really, really close to first class. So it was like, it was a no-brainer for me just to bump them up to this priority. I mean, it was crazy. Man, my phone is blowing up today. Oh, I test drove a Kia Telluride yesterday. No, I didn't test drive it. I sat in one. So, all right, I got to tell this person I will accept text messages from them. So I'm waiting to hear from a couple Kia dealers. So what happened, and I don't know if I told you guys this on Monday. I don't think I told you Monday because I had to make phone calls when I got off my live. But I called the Kia dealership to find out if they had any Tellurides on their lot because I wanted to go in and test drive one before I ordered one, because I'm pretty sure that's what I want. And first of all, the cubic square footage of a Telluride is so much bigger than the Highlander. And when I got in behind it yesterday and the seats were folded down, I was just like, what the heck? This is so big, so big. For a mid-size SUV, it is like phenomenal. So I'm so excited. So he says, well, we don't have any on the lot, brand new. They actually literally have 0 Kias, new Kias on their lot. 0. And that's just like Plattsburgh. And this was in Watertown, New York. And but he says, we got one that's coming in on Monday. He goes, we got one coming in today, but it's already sold, so you can't test drive it. But if you wanted to, because I told him I just want to sit in one to make sure I feel comfortable. I like how it looks, feels, like everything. And I mean, both my kids own Kia, so I feel pretty confident that it's going to drive okay. And I don't really feel like I need to test drive it. And he said, he goes, well, if you want to come while we're getting it ready for them to come pick up, you can come and sit in it, take a look at it, and all this kind of stuff. So we drove the 2 hours yesterday, 2.5 hours, and I got to sit in it, and it is really good. I like it so, so much. All right, so Tommy's podcast will be starting soon. Tracy has moved into her new place and almost set up. Okay, so I wonder, because they were talking about her moving in the last one, and I wondered if maybe that was what the holdup was. I was hoping neither of them were sick. I was really worried about that. I honestly, I follow them on Instagram. I should have went to Instagram yesterday and looked. I had given up. My son has been married 6 years now. Oh, yeah, but kids are having children later and later in life. I mean, I think it even started with our generation that some of us were starting to have them later. Consumer Reports loves the Telluride. Yeah, so we got. Oh, you just got one, Eric. You got one. Oh my gosh, what model did you get? Can you tell? I'm so excited. But so when I went to PT yesterday, she just went and bought a Mazda, the midsize Mazda. I can't remember what's something X7, X6, something like that. She just bought one of those. Well, she's picking it up on Friday. And she said, out of all of her research, that the Telluride by far outscored every other SUV in its class. And I said, well, that's what I found when I was reading up and doing a lot of watching videos on YouTube on the Highlander, the new design of the Highlander. They were comparing it to the Telluride, and the Telluride blew it away every time. And then when I was looking at Kelley Blue Book to see what what the cost is for stuff, and just to get a little bit more, information there, they were clearly showing that it's outperforms all the other ones. And so I said, okay, I'm going to start looking at it. So one of the things I really liked about the Highlander, my Highlander that I like, and the reason why I chose it over any other SUV was, well, two reasons. With the third row seating, it opened up the back to be able to put more stuff when I go sourcing. That was really important to me. And the other thing is the back window, you could push a button and the window opens. So many times when I am sourcing, I am chucked so full that if you were to open the back door, stuff would fall out. So I liked that, because when I would pull in, I would tell my husband, don't open the door. We got to unload from the window first. So I would open the window, take the stuff out till it was safe enough to be able to open the door and not have stuff fall. So I am a little worried that with the Kia Telluride, the window doesn't open. So sourcing will be different. Unloading the sourcing will be different. They took away the button to open the window in the 2022 Highlander. When I heard that this weekend, I immediately said the Highlander is now out of, like, I'm not even really going to consider it now. I'm strictly looking at the Telluride, unless I found something that like convinced me not to get the Telluride, and so far everything is telling me to get it. So, and the price is less than the Highlander. So I'm I'm just very excited. Now it's just a matter of how long until I get it. Got a new one for a price they wanted for a 2-year-old. Yes. So on Monday, I called the Plattsburgh Kia. So where I live in the middle of northern New York, you can go 2 hours to the east and you'll hit Plattsburgh, New York. You can go 2 hours, that's like the next biggest town. You can go 2 hours to the west, southwest, and you're going to hit Watertown, New York. Those are my two, like where I go sourcing, because that's where I'll find the closest Target and Hobby Lobby and Michael's and what else do I go to? I used to go to Bed Bath and Beyond, but one of them closed. Kohl's, like that's where I have to go. 2 hours either direction, and that's where I hit. So I called Plattsburgh, and they said they were giving me all this information. And then she said something about, I said, well, give me the pricing for buying it and for leasing it. And she goes, oh, you can't lease this one. And I said, you can't? You're not doing leases? And she goes, well, it's pre-owned. It's a 2020. And I said, oh, well, how much are you asking for the 2020? And she was like 46,800 or something like that. And I'm like, I can buy a brand new 2022 for that price. Why would I buy a used one? Like, who buys a used one when you can buy a brand new one? I guess if you wanted it today, like if you didn't have a choice and you had to buy a car today, you would have to buy used because there's no new ones. So I said, well, how long would it take for me to get a new one? Because I know there's a waiting list for the Highlanders, 3 to 6 months to get a Highlander. She says 8 to 12 months. And I said, oh my gosh, 8 to 12 months. I said, all right. I said, well, I don't really want to wait that long. So I will reconsider the Highlander. Well, then I ended up calling Watertown, and they said the wait time was about 3 months. And when we got there yesterday, they have a big, huge dry erase board, like huge, takes up the whole wall, and they have like all this information, which I didn't really focus on the first 4 or 5 columns, which I think is like people's names and all this other stuff. Well, their last name, and then the end of it was what vehicle they ordered and what they're trading in, and then I think the status of it, like whether it's on the truck or orders placed or whatever. So there was only 2 on the board for Telluride. The Sportage, oh my gosh, they sell a lot of Sportages. So they only have 2 Tellurides. One of them was the one that I was in, which was being picked up at 5 o'clock, and that's what it says, pick up at 5. And then there was only one before me. So if I get on that list, I will be the second person in line for a Telluride. So I'm really excited about that. Now I'm not on the list yet because the guy was out at a meeting that does the finances and stuff, and I got to talk to him about my trade-in. So yeah, it is crazy that they're paying more. Never thought I own a Kia, but she did the research and that's what she wanted. Yeah, I mean the Kia has come a long way. The stuff I'm hearing is just remarkable. Again, both my kids, one has a Kia Forte and one has a Kia Soul. My daughter just bought her 3rd Kia Soul. Loves it. Loves the Kia Soul. I tried to convince her to look at the Jeep Renegade. She was looking at a Subaru something, and she's just like, I just want another Soul. And for those who used to watch the Bearded Pickers show, right? You know, Steve on there, he has a Kia Soul. Both him and his wife have one, Marcia. They both drive Kia Souls, and he just got rid of his Kia Soul last summer and got another Kia Soul. People have been giving him a hard time because there's not a lot of room in it, but I mean, there's a good amount of room for a small car, but nothing like the Kia Telluride. And the best thing I really like, not the best, one of the really good things about the Kia Telluride, when you're in the back of the vehicle and you are putting the seats down, so it's got 3rd row seating, which fits adults. My Highlander, no, it fits kids. It's really, really tight back there. You manually fold the 3rd row seats down in the back because you can reach them. They're like right there. You pull a string and they go right down. Well, in the middle seats, with the Highlander, I would have to go around and open the side door and, hit a latch, hit another latch, and then fold it down. With the Kia Telluride in the back, you literally hit a button in the back of the vehicle and it folds it right down. I mean, you can do it from the side too, but let's say your hands were full. Let's say you went to Lowe's and you're coming out and you got this really long piece of, I don't know, plywood. And you are like, oh shoot, first of all, I gotta open it, right? If you get the larger trim, the more expensive trim, it has where you can just kick underneath and the door would open, and then you're like, oh no, I gotta go around and open. For my Highlander, you'd be like, oh, I gotta put this down and go around and put the seat down because I forgot to do it before I bought whatever. No, you can just hit a button, down it goes, slide it in. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it. All right. I'm just reading. They are over retail out there as well. Yes. North Carolina, I was hearing people are paying some dealerships are charging $10,000 over MSRP. Most of them are charging the MSRP. So there's no negotiating. If your vehicle is going to be $45,800, you're paying $45,800. No negotiating it down to 42. The only part you could really do for negotiating is, you're like, for me, I'm going to be doing a trade-in. So that's pretty much the only thing I can negotiate. It only took 6 weeks, I think. Was supposed to be 3 months. Yeah, he told me 3 months, but I know in the Highlander, and I don't know how often on the Kia, but on the Highlander, from the ones I talked to around here, which was about 6 different dealers going all the way down to actually went all the way down to Syracuse. I reached out to Syracuse Kias yesterday. There's 2 of them that I reached out to. But they were talking about how they get a new Highlander every 2 months. Or I'm sorry, every 2 weeks they get a new one. So they get told, "Oh, this is what we got coming in," and they don't know what they're going to get. All of a sudden they're told, "Hey, you're going to get a Highlander XLE in black, and this is what it comes with," right? And they don't know. So they will call you, and if you were waiting for a Highlander Limited, you'll get a phone call saying, "Hey, you're number 1 on the list. This is what we got in. It's a Highlander XLE. Do you want it?" And if you said no, because I'm waiting out for a limited, then okay, you don't get it. They go next down the list, and then whoever wanted the XLE will end up getting it. But if you ordered the limited, you wanted the limited, and it's been 6 months and you're still waiting, you might say, "Okay, at this point, I'm just going to take an XLE because I don't want to wait anymore." So you could get one quicker than what you thought. How exciting, but do drive it first. Well, I mean, I could drive it the day I pick that it comes in. There's no test driving because there's no car to test drive. Every car that comes in is already sold, and they don't want you to put on the extra miles on it. So there's no test driving it, which is a bummer if you've never test drove one. There are some used ones, and he said I could go test drive the used one, but I mean, if you're test driving one that's a couple years old, it could be completely different. I mean, who knows? So I didn't. I'm trusting it. You could always get a lemon, no matter what car you get. You could test drive a car, but when your car comes in, it could drive differently than your other one if it's a lemon. I do not have a Kia near me, so for repairs, if it is a under warranty or anything like that, then I would have to drive to I would have to drive to Watertown or Plattsburgh. So even if I buy it from Syracuse, I could just bring it to any Kia dealership. So it would have to be at least 2-hour drive for any recalls or anything like that. But if it's just an oil change or needs new brakes or things like that, right? I just won't go to Kia. I would bring it to, we have friends who repair cars now. So new cars are like when folks were buying houses. New cars are like when folks were buying houses. Well, look at the price of it, right? Some people, like, I'm sure my parents' first house was cheaper than the price of a car right now. It's ridiculous. Oh, here you go, Lisa. Yes, my first house cost me $35,000. I know. My first house was $89,000. But yeah, it is crazy, crazy the cost of a car. And I was telling my mom yesterday, and she's just like, "That is ridiculous." And I know we go through the whole leasing versus buying conversation. And this time around, I really wanted to buy my car. But when you're paying MSRP for a car, man, how long, when the market gets back to normal, and let's say in 2 years, could computer chips start being produced again at a better rate, and things just settle down, and things are kind of somewhat back to normal, then what's going to happen to the value of those cars, right? When things start to become negotiating again, because there's cars on lots again. I just really feel that if you buy a car today, the value of it is not going to stay in a good level. I think at some point it's going to have a major drop in the value of cars because, like Eric was saying, if you bought a car 2 years ago, today that car is worth the same as a new car. I mean, it's got to be hard to try and sell a used car right now. And I know all around here they're like telling people, hey, used cars are worth a lot, bring them in, bring them in. But it's got to be like, who would even pay for a car right now? Used car. Who would go buy that 2020? And that's what the Toyota dealership told me, actually, because when I told him how many miles I have on my car, which is 63,000 on a 3-year-old vehicle, he said, I got cars on my lot same year that have 30,000, and yours is twice as many miles on it. He goes, so yours is going to be so much harder to sell. So trade-in value, he didn't even quote me anything, but he says it's not going to be as competitive as I was probably hoping. So yeah. Yeah, Timothy says the price value will drop. So I'm really thinking I'm going to lease this one again. And I think what I'll do is in 3 years, if the value drops considerably, I can literally hand them the keys and walk away and be done with it. I don't have to do anything. I can get a new vehicle and deal with maybe buy a car that's a brand new, maybe what's today, 2022. So 2025 is when it would be up. So in 2025, I could possibly buy a car, a brand new one, for cheaper than what my end lease amount would be on the 2022. So yeah, I think I'm really leaning towards leasing on that. So can you buy a deal when you lease that gives you extra miles? So Holly, you can. Now, so they asked me how many miles would I be driving. My current lease is 15,000 miles, so I should have only been at 45, but again, I'm at 63. One of the things that's been good with me with when I've leased is that at the end of my lease, I usually trade it in, not hand them the keys and walk away. Because when I trade it in, I have the ability to use any equity that it's had. And all of my vehicles in the past have had equity in it. So I'll tell you why I started, one of the reasons why I started leasing. So in, I don't even know, 2013, my daughter had just graduated high school and was going to be going to college in Massachusetts. And at the time we lived in Vermont. Well, her actually she went to college in Massachusetts. So her freshman year, you cannot have a car on campus. So we had to drive down there all the time. It was like a 5.5 hour drive. We had to drive down there to pick her up, to bring her home for any of the breaks or, anything like that. And it was just so many miles on our car, so much gas. We had to pay for hotel rooms, all this stuff to go and grab her. And she would take the public transportation to go to like Walmart to get groceries. Nothing was close to the campus. The bus system was horrible, and she had gotten stuck at like her freshman year so many times at like Walmart, or I shouldn't say so many times, like one time is enough. And she was you have to make friends with people who either live locally or had cars that were in another grade. And I think one time she had to take a taxi from Walmart her first time because she wasn't there for very long. But the bus stopped on I think it was like a Sunday, and the bus stops at like 4 or something. It was ridiculous, something you wouldn't have thought. I should check, which we learned quickly because we lived on a bus system all growing up, and I don't really remember, like, the bus was always there, so we didn't realize. So anyway, when she could have a car her sophomore year, we went and bought a used car. I think we paid $5,000 for it. It was a Volkswagen Jetta, I think. Well, we paid $5,000 for that. She had it for maybe 6 to 9 months. The transmission went on it. It was going to cost so much to do the repairs that we were like, we had to drive down to Massachusetts and get her another car. And we said, why don't you just lease a car? I think at the time you could get a lease for like $130. I think that's when she got her first Kia Soul. It was like $130. I said, do you realize if you take $130, I don't know how much it is now. Like if you got a basic, inexpensive car, 130 times 36 months, look what that comes out to be. $4,680. We never had to worry about her car breaking down everything. I mean, it was a brand new car. Everything was under warranty. Um, when you have a child who's in another state that far away from you, the peace and comfort we got over knowing that she was not going to be stranded anywhere, it was good. It was a good feeling. So for me, I was like, the fact that we could pay 4680 in 3 years, and because if you buy a car, $5,000 car, you're gonna have to put work into it. You're gonna have to do some type of repair. You're gonna have to get new tires, new brakes. Like there's gonna be something you're gonna need to do, and so it's not just a $5,000 car. It's gonna be more than that. But I'll tell you, peace of mind was remarkable. So when my son got to the age of where he was going off to college, I shouldn't say off. He stayed at home, but he still had to drive to college. We did the same thing, and that's when we got him a Honda Civic. We leased it. I will tell you that at the end of his lease, we did hand them the cars and walk away. He did not have equity in it, or it was like really equal, so trading in wasn't really the best option. And then he ended up going to the Kia Forte, and he continued leasing, and he's still leasing, and he just leased his second Kia Forte. So we've been really happy with it. I think if you start leasing and you get that peace of mind, my daughter hated her. She bought her lease out, and she's had nothing but issues with her last Kia Soul, because it has like over 100,000 miles on it. I think she had 130 on it, and she just was constantly having issues with it again. And she's like, I just want to get a new one and lease again. She got a lease on this Kia Soul, and her payment was lower than her used car payment was for buying out her lease. Yeah. If you lease, will you are locked into a trade-in value price. So you're not locked into a trade-in value. So right now, my lease on my Highlander, you can buy it out at the end of your lease. So there's 3 options when you lease. At the end of your lease, you can hand them the keys and literally walk away and go get yourself another car. You can hand them the keys, but say, I'm going to hand you the keys, but I'm not handing in my lease. I want you to buy my lease, right? Because there's a lease end price. And my lease is $26,000. If I wanted to buy my car right now, I could buy it for 26. Or I can go to TJ Toyota and they can buy it for 26. Or in this case, the Kia dealership in Watertown will buy my vehicle out for 26,000, and then they'll sell it for, I don't know, 38,000 or whatever, and make a profit. But I can trade it in, and I'll say I want 30,000. So right now it books for 30,000 as a trade-in value. That's like the middle of the trade-ins. So I'll trade it in for 30,000. They'll pay it off for 26, and then I'll take 4,000 and put it towards the purchase of my new car. So that's what I like to do, and that's what I normally do for mine. So there is a price that's locked in, but it's your buy price. So if you wanted to buy it at the end of your lease, this is how much it's worth. Eric says, sell it yourself. Yeah, here, I live in such a rural area, it would be really hard to sell a car. Yeah. Limited miles on lease. So when you lease a car, you have, so when you go to like Kelley Blue Book and you put in how much your car is worth, it asks you, what is your mileage? Well, obviously the higher the mileage, the less your car is worth. So when you go to do a lease, I think normal, I think the standard is 12,000 miles a year, but you can go down to 10,000 if you wanted to. I went up to 15, so you pay a little bit more for it because at the end your car is just going to be worth a little bit less, so they amortize the difference. So let's say you bought, and these are just really ridiculous numbers I'm going to use because they're easy for me, but let's say you bought a car that's worth 50,000, right? So like a new Highlander, 50,000. And when at the end of your lease, it's worth 25, which that's incredibly low. It wouldn't be usually that low if you bought 50, but let's say it's 25. They would take that 25, the difference between the 50 and the 25, they would take that 25, and that's what you would do it's like you get a loan for that difference, and that's what they take and divide it by the 36 payments. So you can choose your mileage. Yeah. You don't have unlimited, that's for sure. That's like 20 cents a mile over. So if I wanted to hand in my keys and walk away from the Highlander, let's say that the retail value had dropped considerably. Let's say the Kia Telluride in 3 years is not worth what they thought it was going to be worth. So let's say they tell me that it's going to be worth 26,000, like my Highlander is right now, but it's only worth 20,000. Well, I mean, I can hand them the keys and walk away, but if I went over my miles, I'll have to pay for the mileage. So that's a chance you take if you're putting high miles on your car. Lease a Jeep Grand Cherokee with the third row seating, lots of space, love it. Had to wait a month to get it in September. So they say that the Jeep Grand Cherokee, first of all, it is smaller than the Telluride. It does not have as much space in the back as the Telluride, or the Ford Explorer, or the Highlander. But there's been a lot of people having problems. Every review I read, because my husband owns the Jeep Wrangler, every review is don't buy a Grand Cherokee, don't buy a Jeep Grand Cherokee, because there's been so many problems with them. So that one automatically went right out my window. Literally, the reviews on YouTube are you got a 50-50 chance of getting a good one or a bad one. So I'm like, I don't really want to deal with that. Plus, the cargo space is really important to me, and it is not in the top of its class for cargo space. I had the Greyhound bus ride from hell when I went from home to college around 1974, 10 hours in bad weather. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think if she ever took the train. I think she may have taken the train once. I feel like she did for some reason. Yeah, we were just like, man, there's got to be other people from Vermont that are down there. If we could have did like a ride share or something, that would have been so nice. We just couldn't find anybody. Do you pay for insurance if you lease? By the way, she went to a state college, so of course most of the people there were from Massachusetts because it's so cheap for them to go to a state college, and she was paying out of state tuition, and it's expensive to do out of state in Massachusetts. So so there just weren't a lot of out of staters there. Yeah, so you do pay for insurance. It's just like if you get they're on the registration. So your registration will say, Tamara Augustino, and then it will say Hyundai Leasing Company or whatever. I think that's who they go through. So the Hyundai Palisades has the same body as the Kia Telluride. So yeah, so you do that, and then obviously if you got in an accident and something happened, um, you know, it's just like if you got a bank loan. You know how there's like because you don't own the title, the bank owns the title if you're getting a bank loan for it, and it's the same type of thing with the leasing. I love driving my old paid off Forerunner. You sound like my sister Amy. Well, she's got she's the one I was telling you earlier. She's got, or on Monday we are talking about, she's got a Sienna, but she drove the Forerunner. They had an old Forerunner forever, forever, all through college. I feel like I remember her. I think maybe it was her husband had that at the time. I don't know. Is she still in? She say, I don't know how many years you had that Forerunner, Amy, but yeah, she had one for a long time. I didn't like the Forerunner. Was really like, for being a heavier set person, I found that the Forerunner was really narrow, like the seats and stuff, and the center console is just not as big as a lot of the other like the mid-side SUVs and stuff. So I'm not really looking for sporty or anything like that. I just, comfort is number one. And then space is right up there. Um, Safety feature. This one's got so many safety features, like a lot of safety features. Didn't know this was going to turn into the buying a new car segment on my show today. So yeah, so I'm going to go to lunch with my mom, and then I'm debating on going to the casino today. I don't know. I went last week and didn't do so well. So I'm really debating on whether or not I want to go. I don't know. Part of me is like, come on, it's your dad's birthday. Where would he go? And that's what I said to my mom. I said, hey, there's a Chinese buffet. Why don't we go there for lunch? And she says, well, what about there's a golf course? And she goes, what about going to that, restaurant they have at the golf course? It's at the Best Western, but it overlooks the golf course and it's owned by the golf course. And I said, yeah, I don't know if I want a salad. I don't know. I said, either one. I'm okay with either one. I said, but when in doubt, where would dad want to go? It's his birthday. Where would dad go? She goes, oh, he would go to that Chinese buffet. Bingo, because that's where I would probably prefer to go. But I'm okay with either. So then I guess today would always be like, what would dad do? Dad would want to go to the casino. So I think I'll probably end up there. And then tonight, I'm going to have a hot hamburger sandwich for supper tonight because that was one of his favorite meals. So yeah. Oh, I wanted to show you guys what I bought. Hold on, let me show you what I got. Look what I finally bought. Hold on, let me see if I can show it to you. I guess I have to hold it. I finally bought a light box. Do you know I've never had a light box? I used to buy, yeah, I made my own at one time. But look, so this comes down. And you can open this up, and then when the light's on it, it's like really, really bright inside. I don't have a plug close by, so I can't show you that. Or it's all like on Velcro, which is kind of weird. They say Velcro on their sheet, and I wonder if it's real authentic Velcro. Or you can unzip this, and you can pull this whole thing down. There's the inside. Up here is lights. They're so bright. They're so bright. It comes with a carrying bag. This has got white backdrop, but it also comes with a blue backdrop, a black one, and a green one. And then, so here's where you turn it on and off once it's plugged in. And then, hold on. Let me just zip this back up. Oh, I can't because the cord's on that side. So normally I can zip it, but I put the cord in there to carry it downstairs. And then if you wanted to take pictures from the top, there's also a Velcro here with a cutout circle so you can take the picture straight down if you wanted to. So I finally bought myself and look how big it is. Look how big it is. Just a minute, I'll tell you guys which one I bought on Amazon in case you're interested. I guess I'm going to have to set up an affiliate link with it. So I've never had a light box before. I have a table over here, and I've got a really, really light bright up above. I got lights on the side, and I've always just taken pictures. I got a white sheet that comes down and then goes across a table. So it kind of gives you that. But man, the light bright at the top, I get shadows all the time. So I got to take it at a weird angle. And I'm thinking this will be nice for most of the stuff I sell. Plus, I like that it's portable. So let's say I go and I buy a bunch of something. I don't know, bunch of something. I like that if I wanted to unload it all upstairs and take pictures upstairs and not do it down here, I can literally come down here, just grab that, go upstairs, and then take all the pictures upstairs. I like the portability. Or let's say I bring it in the RV and I do something in the RV. If I buy a bunch of smalls or something like that, it folds up into that bag. Car talk does have to do with reselling. Need a car to get inventory. Yeah, and I was telling the guy that I sell on Amazon, because I always use that as an example because of the amount. When I go out sourcing and get large quantities of things, it's usually because of Amazon. So I was telling him how the back, was important to me and how I missed the window not being able to open and things falling. Because I tell you, I've opened that back door before and things have fallen out onto the ground. Yeah, spaghetti dinner for dad tonight. We had spaghetti on Saturday. So when I was doing up my menu for this week, I'm like, wow, spaghetti or hamburgers? Which one should I have? And I thought, oh, I know he likes regular hamburgers, but he likes his hot hamburger too when he would go out to eat. He would always get hot hamburger over a hamburger when we would go out to eat. Light boxes are great to use. I'm really excited to try it. I did take a couple pictures last night with it. I gotta iron the white sheet that goes in it. Let me show you. It's still, it's still a little dark. Like, look at how dark it still is. So you still have to edit the pictures. I'm kind of disappointed about that because this honestly looks similar to if I would have taken the picture on the, and I did take this one. Well, I took, hold on. So I took this picture first, right? And there's a little shadow down in the corner. See that shadow down here? Right there. There's a little shadow right there. So then I took it again, but I had to go at it a little angle again. I think you still need to brighten your photos. So you still need to do some type of editing, which really kind of stinks. I didn't want, I was hoping to get away from that. Now I like that I still have the table. So if I buy board games, big blankets, things like that, I like that I still have that for that space. Nice. Can't believe it's your first. I know. I did a makeshift one time when I first started doing eBay. I made one out of the cardboard. Actually, let me go grab it. All right, so it's broken. One of these is broken off. So this is what I made like 5-6 years ago. So you can buy this at like the Dollar Tree or Walmart. It's just a thicker cardboard. And I taped it together. And I made it into a 3-sided one. And I used this for the longest time. And so if something was tall, I would put it this way. If something was shorter, like I would go this way. It was made by, there you go, Elmer's. I can't know if you can't see that right there, but it's Elmer. But like, it got so dirty and so soiled, and I don't even know why I still have it. I need to put it in our burn pile. But yeah, I just taped it together. And I tell you, if you, oops, something breakable in that box. If you're starting out and you don't have a lot of money, that is actually not that bad. I used to take a lamp from the house and I would have it over the top of it and to light it up because you would get a lot of shadows in that. But that definitely, but yeah, I kept looking on Amazon and all of the ones I would see were, let me pull up my Amazon so I can send you, I'll give you a link to it. Hold on. I gotta log out of this one, switch accounts. I buy everything under a personal account. Orders. So do light boxes eliminate glare? Always have glare issues. I don't know. I don't know if it does. I haven't tried that yet. Literally only took those few pictures with it so far. Okay. Text. A minute. Oh, okay. I'm on the right one. All right, get link. Get link. Copy. All right. All right, here's a link to the one I bought. All right, I did. It is an affiliate link. I wanted to do a affiliate. $53.99. I don't know if that's what I paid for it. Let me see. Let me look at. Actually, here we go. It is not what I paid for it. Let me share. I just want to show you. This is what I do when I go to buy on Amazon. So you can download. So this is what I bought. Sorry, there's the link. This is the one I bought. Eltring, whatever, right? 24 inches by 24 inches. And so this is what I'll do. If you download, you can download Keepa for free. Excuse me. And so I'll use Keepa. And so it shows here that normally it's been at the $69.99 price, right? $70. And then it went out of stock. They only had used ones for a while. Came back at $69.99. Then it dropped down to $55.99. And then this is when I bought $53.99. And then it's gone back up to 56. This said 53 though, didn't it? Yeah, 53. So I noticed that the price had dropped from what it normally had been. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to order it. There's a price drop. I'm grabbing that right now. Let's see what it's been at. Oh, so it has been 49. But look at this. Can't believe the people that bought it at that higher price. So I do that a lot when I'm buying stuff. I will look at the keep a chart, and if it's in a dip, I'll grab it. Okay, so I know I see some in shadow. Yeah, so you saw, Eric, there was a little bit of a shadow from when if I'm trying to go over it from the side and not from up above, it was creating that little bit of a shadow. So I just had to go like this a little bit and then take the picture, which is the same thing I have to do when I'm taking pictures here at the table. So I haven't tried going from the top yet, which I want to try that to see what that looks like. What's a hot hamburger? What? You don't know what a hot hamburger is? You know, that's my father-in-law. One time we went to a diner when he was over here, when they first moved over, and he asked for a hot hamburger and they didn't know what it was. So it's you take bread, hamburger, another piece of bread, and you pour brown gravy over it. So like a beef gravy. And most of the time it comes with French fries with gravy smothered all over it too. So that's what we're going to have. Bread, hamburger, bread, gravy. I usually will pull off the hamburger, scrape some of the bread. I need to remember, today I'm not ordering it. I'm making it. So I won't use bread. I'll do a hamburger with gravy, but I will have some French fries tonight because I'm trying to do a lower carb, not no carb. I'm just trying to cut down on the carbs. So sometimes I'll do like a bottom bread and not take off the top. Oh, Liverpool, I'll call you back. How's that? How about you call me back? Stop buzzing. Okay. Eric, yes and no. They help greatly with glare and shadow, but if you use a background remover, then also it's close to perfect. Yeah, I think it'll make a lot better when I start to do the background remover. It has like silver, everything is all covered in silver. And then you've got the white is just in the back and in the bottom. So I am wondering with the glare, especially, I think the biggest thing is when you're trying to take pictures of stuff that has like a reflection in it, that's my biggest challenge, because I don't want a picture of me in the picture, taking the picture of the item. That's been my challenge. So I think with this, if I have that little hole, or if I take it from above, if there's a way that I can like have just a little tiny crack that I can put just this in the crack, and then be able to take a picture, maybe I can cut back on seeing me. You know those infamous pictures of people with mirrors and there's a picture of them. I think a lot of that is Photoshop, because who literally takes a picture of themselves naked to sell a mirror? Like, obviously, you're doing it not for selling the mirror. Yes, Cindy thought that's what I heard. Okay, so yeah, I'll give updates as I go along when I start to take pictures of stuff again, because I just haven't been doing that much lately. Canva is your best friend when it comes to photos and video. I have been learning so many tricks on Canva lately that I didn't even know. I had no idea, especially if you pay for Canva. There are some things that I didn't know that you can do, and I'm so excited. It has opened the world up to me. For instance, I've been doing print on demand. Let me show you. Do you guys care? Anybody use Canva besides Laura here? I have to prop up flatware to avoid reflections. Yeah, I can imagine that, Holly. Probably see that a lot. I've come across some interesting reflections on eBay pictures. Don't do photos in your undies. I know. Who does that? Who does that? Okay, I want to show you guys something. Let me go to Canva. And I'm going to, because you know what? Like, Holly, this might be good for you, or, even if you're selling a niche product, and I'm sure Laura, right? Because you do, you got your own brand and stuff on Amazon. I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm already logged in. I just wanted to make sure my password and all that wasn't going to be popping up. So, okay, so here I am on Canva. So let's say that I'm going to do a flat lay. And so I'm going to put a shirt. Well, let's say you're selling even one of your own shirts. I wish I had one. Wish I had something to show you. But even like silverware, right? Because I know, Holly, you sell a lot of flatware or whatever. What do you call it? Yeah, flatware. Everyone calls things differently, huh? But let's say you wanted to do a mock-up of a t-shirt, right? So let's say I'm going to, let me see something. All right, so here's a t-shirt I made. All right. This little fun guy here. So let's say I have this this t-shirt. I don't remember if this is a white background or if it is a transparent. So I'm going to come up under edit. I'm going to remove the background just to make sure it is transparent, which I think it is, but just to make sure. All right, so now that's transparent. And then I'm going to come over to elements and I'm going to say, I want to do a shirt mock-up. So let's say you wanted to do this with, we're talking about like with your flatware, Holly. Let's say you want to have a photo of your flatware in like a setting. Like, so you want to do a mock-up, but you're not going to do, let me see. I want to find jeans. This is what they were using as an example. I want to put jeans in with this picture because I want to do some type of mock-up where I have jeans and let's say some boots. So I want to find one that has a background to show you what I'm going to show you. All right, so see how this has a background, right? So I'm going to add this. Well, if I was to add this and then, I don't like how it's moving. Forget it. This is a video. I don't want a video. I want one that's not a video. No, I don't want to use that one. So that's got more than one pair. If I have to, I can go back to use that one. I want just one pair. Give me one pair. Well, I may have to use it on something just to save time. All right, I'll use it on this one that's got multi-pair. But I don't really want, like, let's say I just wanted one pair though, okay? So you can click on this picture and I can say edit image and have this one remove this wood background. It should just leave these jeans there. It should. We'll see. Hopefully it does what I want it to do. But what I've been doing is finding one that has just one pair of jeans and then being able to manipulate it with the one pair of jeans. Hey, Steph. Steph sells stuff by the seashore. This is your first time here? Why do I feel like I've heard your name before? Maybe it's been in other ones. See how I removed the background? So then you can sit there and play with it and say, like if it was this one pair that was down here, I would then use that one pair of jeans in my picture. So I'm going to move it to the back so I can bring this up to the front and I could play with this, right? And then I would go over here and I would find some boots. And let's say I like these. I could add these boots in the picture. I could put them right here. Right. So what I learned was that you could take something that has a background and remove it in one of their already designed photos, which I didn't know that. So let's say you saw a picture and it had the white square going around this, right? So, because I wouldn't want the white square. Like if this had a white square around it, this would all be white. I wouldn't be able to overlay it on top of the shirt. It would be a white square. So with the paid, I think you have to have the paid version of Canva. You can remove the background, which that was like, that's a life That's a game changer when it comes to stuff. But you can come in here in the elements and even look for um, table setting. Let's say we want an actual photo table setting. I wonder if they have something specifically called mockups. Yeah, so let's say you had like, oh, that's got, you probably are going to already have silverware in most of them, huh? Yeah, so you're already going to have silverware in a lot of them. But you can actually make your own and just say plates. You could find a plate that you like let's say you like this one. So let's delete all of these. So I was just thinking of you, Holly. So you could go like this, and then you can say, okay, give me a background. And let's say you wanted a spring. I don't even know, like what would a tablecloth look like? I don't know if they would even have any now. Let's go back with spring. Or let's say like, oh, that's not good either. Easter. Let's see if they have any. No. All right, so let's just do our own. These are ones I've recently used. So let's say you did this, right? And then you would put this, and then you could take your pictures of your silverware. So let's say this is your silverware or flatware, as you guys call it. Find all right, let's say this was your picture. I like this one. Let's say this is your picture, right? You can remove the background. You love Canva. I have been learning so much cool stuff with Canva. Oh, so first of all, so let's say you wanted you just had like a fork and a knife. Let's say that's all you have is a fork and knife, or a fork and a knife and a spoon, right? So you can copy this picture, and I'm going to edit this to show just this fork, and then I'm going to put it over here. Yeah, fork's always on the wrong side, right? And then I'm going to, it's crazy when you copy it, it doesn't keep the background out of there, but that's all right. There's a way around it, right? So let's do the knife. Right? So you could literally take pictures of what you're selling and create what they're calling lifestyle photos. And you can't have this be your first photo on eBay because people would think they're going to get the plate too. But you could have it as one of your other photos as your lifestyle photo. And you could create something like this from just your photos that you've taken yourself, remove the background, add the items in. So if you had the whole place setting, you could separate them and put them in here individually. It has been so much fun learning the stuff I have been learning lately. I've had so much fun playing with it, as well as I've been using some print on demand. And today I was watching a video that was like, that's how I felt. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, you just shared something with me that is going to make my life so much easier and open up another whole world of some print on demand stuff for me. So I'm just, man, there's such good stuff on YouTube. There's so many good videos out there. I shared one with you the other day. Was it Heather Studio, Heather Design, Heather something? Um, she's got some good stuff, but there is just so many good ones. The one that I learned something from today only had like 800 and something followers, and I was just like, fabulous tips, like such good content. I don't even know. Oh, I know how I stumbled on her. I was doing a search for a specific print on demand company, and she popped up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good, so good. So I'm really excited about this print on demand. I've kind of put a little break on the planners, which I really need to go back to doing that because I definitely have a passion for that. But it's a slow time for planners right now, which is why I probably should be working on it. But once I get the print on demand up to a good level in my store, I think I'm going to switch back over to that and get ready for get ready for August when school goes back. Probably because I know there's people who do school planners and probably look at doing something for that. But yeah, it's so exciting. I love learning new stuff. Love learning new stuff. And Canva, it's only like 12 something a month, I think I pay for it. But the stuff you can do for it, and even just creating thumbnails for YouTube, and the editing, even if you brought your pictures in here and edited them in here, the stuff that you can do for editing is just really, really remarkable. I'm very happy with it. I love Canva. Hey, I should put, I think there's some type of like a referral link. Oh yeah, refer friends. I need to put this down in my, do I already have it? I don't even know. Wait a minute. Refer a friend, get rewarded. When a friend joins Canva and creates a design, you'll both get to choose one of our premium photos, icons, or illustrations. Plus, you'll be able to collaborate designs together. What? So you don't get any money? When a friend joins Canva and creates a design, you'll both get to choose one of our premium photos, icons, or illustration. Who cares? I'm wondering if I'm not in. I am in the one I'm paying for because it would have given me. It went to showing you the fungi and stuff. Yeah, I'm in Pro. So it's weird that the referral is process infant good. I would thought you would have gotten like $10 or something like that, you know? How come you don't get any money? Canva credits. From the top corner of the homepage, click your profile name, click refer friends, copy the link for sharing. There's different subscription plans. I should share this with you, right? Because I'm sitting here staring at this and not at least letting you see what I'm looking at. Monthly plan, yearly but charged monthly. Oh, if you're in Brazil, you can do that. That's nice. All right. Well, I guess there's this link right here. I don't understand how this link would come back to me. Process infant good? Like, what is that? What kind of, that's weird. How come I can't choose my own? I don't know. There's a link if anybody's interested in joining. I'll have to put it down in my description. Do I have it in my description? Do I even have a description? No. How come when I go live, my description never follows with all of my like links to things? Like my Discord and all that. I wonder how I changed that in YouTube. I don't know. It says that there's only one person watching me right now. Oh, now it just changed to 14. That's so weird. Are you guys still getting kicked out? I do got 9 thumbs up. So if you could hit the thumbs up for me, I would appreciate that. Yeah, I missed this. Or bare feet in photographs. Oh my gosh. Yes. I did have my bare feet. I took a picture of myself on the scale and sent it to my family the other day. And I'm like, yeah, those are my winter toes. My toenail polish is like this much left on my my big toe. I'm like, yeah, time to probably change that out now that sandal season's going to be coming up again here in another, probably not 2 more months. Because it's still cold. It was only like 36 yesterday. There's the bearded picker. Hey, Scott, I miss you. There is a setting in YouTube Studio. Is there? Well, I thought I had it. So I know when I upload a video, it automatically puts all of that garbage down below. But when I do my lives, it doesn't seem to do it. So, all right, I'm going to have to look to find out where that is. Because somehow I'm not doing it. And that's probably why like the Discord group hasn't grown as much as I would like it to grow. Every now and then somebody new pops in, but it would be nice if we had even more people in there. Look who's in the house. I heard you have to add after, but I don't play in YouTube channels too much. Yeah, so I mean, it does it for the pre-recorded, but for the live, and most of the time the live, I forget to even go in and monetize it most of the time. every now and then I'll be like 3 days later, I'm like, oh, I should go monetize that video. That's probably why my payouts are getting a lot smaller because I keep forgetting. But I don't do it for the money anyhow. So, um, yeah, so I don't know. Well, I'm going to play around with Canva more and see what else I can learn and find. I was finding out with the print on demand that when I do, so a lot of times I'll be like, okay, how are people doing multiple items without having to like manually put in orders. So right now everything is like integrated with Etsy that I do. So if somebody goes and orders like this shirt, which this shirt's not available, this is from Old Navy, but if you were to order this shirt, it automatically goes to the print on demand. I don't touch anything. I don't really do anything unless you have an issue or question or whatever. Then I'll answer questions if you message. But everything is automated. But how do you do, you'll see where somebody will say, like the video I was watching, they used for an example, a shirt that said bride, and then somebody else that said the I do crew. So let's say you're like bridesmaids or groomsmen or whatever. I don't know if the groomsmen would wear it, but the girls would definitely wear it. If it was like a bridal shower or a bachelorette party, they would wear the I do crew shirts out while the bride's got one that says bride. And so they were talking about how you can actually you can set that up and have it be, this was all through Printify. You could have it so the bride, if she went on and wanted to order one for herself and one for all her friends, everything is all under one listing and it would all be automated. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do, because it's going to say something different on the front. And so they were showing how you can do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is really, really good if you wanted to do um, shirts like that that are, where people can pick and choose. The video was all about group shirts. So let's say you had like a family vacation and everybody wanted the family vacation, and you might have a shirt that says um, the grumpy aunt or whatever, just jokingly, but like you might have one that says aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, whatever. Like you can put all of those under one listing and people can pick and choose and do it all under one. So I really, really, uh, I don't know, I just learned that, and I just love learning new things. Now I got to put it into practice. So that's probably what I'll be doing tonight, is figuring out what can I do that I can use that what I learned. Because I feel if I use it right away, it's easier for me to remember in the future. But if I forget, I'll have to remember to go back and watch that video again on how to do it. You may be right. I use StreamYard for lives and it prompts a description. I copy and paste there. Yeah, it does. I don't ever add it. I don't know why I don't. I really probably need to just put it. Well, first of all, most of the time, I literally am creating my StreamYard live the minute I'm going live. Like today, I'm not very good at remembering to do it before, because sometimes I decide not to go live. I'm not like you where I remember and go every Wednesday at 9 when you would go Wednesday at 9. Which I got to tell you, when you started going Wednesday at 9 from your Tuesday and Thursday show, I was like, 9 o'clock was my time. I actually moved my time so I could watch your show live, because I liked watching you live versus pre-recorded, because I always was screaming at the camera saying something. So it was easier for me to be able to type it when I had thoughts to mind. Yeah, so I really probably ought to be better at that and have it so I can put it on the side, because I know that a lot of YouTubers, they not really rely, but one of the benefits of having a following on YouTube is, I know many times I would go into somebody's video purposely to click an Amazon link if I was going to place an Amazon order. Even if I would go like Scott's video and click on a link to tape or whatever, boxes, or who knows what, any Amazon link, because for the next, I think it's 24 hours, anything they would buy from Amazon, they would get a percentage. So even if I would click a link and brought me to something I wasn't going to use, and now I'm going to go buy, I don't know, something for the maple sugar house, I might as well give money back to people that I support versus 100% of it going to Amazon. So I almost anytime I'm buying from Amazon, I do that. I go through somebody's link so I can help support their channel. I don't have Amazon affiliate links below because Amazon took it away from me and I had to fight to get it back. And honestly, when I got it back, I have not put it back on because I'm like, screw you, Amazon. Not that it care, not that my little Peaslee 3 cents would really make much difference to them, but I never added it back on, but maybe I will. I should at least put a link to that light box that I got. When I let you guys know how it works out, maybe I'll do a video on it. I don't know. I always say maybe because I usually never end up doing them. But I did just buy a microphone I made a fortune on Amazon links, $12 last month. Listen, 3 of those cents may have come from me clicking on one of your links. Um, I bought because we've been doing a lot of videos out in the maple sugar house, and my husband is doing the talking and I'm holding the phone, and he's a distance away. So I did just buy a microphone, a wireless microphone that plugs into the bottom of your iPhone here, like the receptor or whatever it's called, plugs in here, and then he can clip on the microphone. I'm excited to test that out because it wasn't that expensive, and I'm really hoping that it helps kind of bring his voice closer. Went to test it today, and then I was like, oh damn, I got to charge it. So it's plugged in charging right now. So I'm excited to do that so we can test that out and see how that's going to go. And that channel is probably going to be picking up more as spring is coming. And once we start doing the RV and Jeeping and all that kind of stuff, we are heading out in a couple weeks to do the East Coast and Southeast. I think we're going to go probably as far as Georgia right now. Scott, and I know I've mentioned to you, and I know you're an introvert, and you're probably like, oh gosh, I don't like to meet people, but I really wanted to meet you and Laura, and we tried to get it to be in Alabama because we're going to be so close, very close to you, and to be there on a Tuesday so I could go and have wings with you. My husband, you two beards could hang out. My husband is in love with you. He'd probably laughing if he's listening to me right now. Of course, you guys think so much alike. You're so much alike. It's unbelievable. But the off-road G Park in your area doesn't open until Thursday. It's only open Thursday and Friday, or maybe it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where the Jeep Badge of Honor is. And I'm like, oh, we get there on Tuesday, and then we're gonna have to like hang out, and then it's gonna be like, not that we have to figure out what to do with our time, but time is so precious when we're trying to do all these like stops with the Jeep and hitting these badge trails that it would be like all this downtime. So we decided, nah, we're not going to do it this time. But I am going to be in Nashville in June. But we're going with other people, so probably still not even going to get a chance to head south even on that trip. But sometime, because there is that trail down there that we want to hit to get the badge, because that's my husband's plan, is to hit every trail that has a Jeep Badge of Honor. He's got them all on the side of his Jeep, and that's his goal. Just like when we were doing geocaching, it was to get a geocache in every state. And right now we've got every state but Hawaii. Yeah, I would love to meet up with you, Laura. I think it'd be so cool. It's just great when you've got, online friends that you talk to all the time. And I know you and I, we talk. It would just be nice to actually see each other face to face and meet. I've had the fortunate event of meeting 3 people that I've met online. I mentioned Michael from the Thrifting Goomba. I've met him in person, and I had to travel, I think, like 4 hours and met up with him. A great decision. It was well worth the 4 hours to go meet up with him. He's a great, great guy, Michael. And then Dave Brown. Dave doesn't pop in here anymore. He's got a landscaping business, and he has really taken off with that and found that I'm assuming he preferred to do that than the very, very, the amount of money he was making on Amazon in 2020 was just insane. But the work probably was like, hey, listen, I can make a good living doing this landscaping versus the amount of time he was putting in 2020 was just insane. But I miss him. He used to be in here every now and then. And then a guy, Paul, I don't even think he resells at all anymore, which is kind of a bummer. Bummer because I don't get to talk to him and see him much anymore, but not a bummer for him. He was a stay-at-home dad, so I think his children became priority when 2020 happened. We started Tuesdays because of 50-cent wings at Tailgaters. They killed that, but we still eat on Tuesdays and sometimes 2 to 3 other times every week there. Yeah, wings are so expensive. My husband remembers when it was like 10-cent wings. Yeah, now it's so expensive. Everything is expensive. I was watching the news yesterday and they said that wheat prices are either have gone up or are going up 30%, 30%. So I was telling all my family and friends, if it hasn't hit the stores yet where they've already gone up, you might want to pick up a bag of flour. Um, or anything like that that you go through. I buy a bag and it lasts me like 3 or 4 years. It's enough where I'm like opening my Tupperware saying, is this any good anymore? As long as it's not wheat flour, it's been okay. Wheat flour goes rancid quickly, but white flour, that seems to last forever. I don't bake. Um, and of course, right now I'm trying to cut back on the carbs, so that has made it even less likely that I'm going to be using any flour in baking. Although we did make our homemade pizza the other day, and I bought the pizza crust, but you had to I need to take a class. I need to watch a video on how do you twirl pizza dough, because the way my pizza looked, although I will tell you mine looked the best out of the four of us, everyone else's looked like horrible. And some of them couldn't stretch it enough. Their crust was like this thick. It was like Chicago style pizza, deep dish, because it was so thick. Mine was actually at least somewhat of a rectangle. Um, but I used some flour on that. But you put too much flour because the instructions said to dust your pan with flour and then put your crust on it. There was so much flour on the bottom of my pizza, I had to sit there and take a knife and scrape it off. It was nasty. It was gross. Wow. All right. Well, listen, folks, I'm going to let you guys go because it is 10:30 and I think I'm going to be meeting my mom in an hour and I still have to package my orders for today so I can drop them off on the way there. I think I only got like 7 orders today, if that. I'm just looking. Not very many orders, so it's kind of a bummer. But it's what? I mean, it's this time of year where things really start to slow down for me anyhow. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you on, let's see, what's Monday? The 28th? No, I got February's calendar still. Oh, it is the 28th. I was like, but it's the last day of the month. It's because I still have February. That's too bad. I'm missing out on a whole month of looking at the new picture. What do I got? Oh, it's cute. It's kitty cats, by the way. Yeah, so the 28th. I will see you on Monday, where hopefully I'm really busy packing a lot of orders. I got to remember to set a sale for this weekend because it's time to move some of this stuff out of here. All right, talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Bye.